Whether it's your first project car ever or you're already into cars and you're just switching platforms and you happen to stumble across the 8.6 chassis or the ZN6, ZN8 chassis, and you're wondering, should I buy the old gen or should I buy the new gen? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. First, we're going to start with the old gen. Now, I paid $4,000 for this car, so it was on the cheaper side, but it's completely modifiable, and that's one of my favorite things about this chassis is you can make this look like whatever you want. As you can see, we have the BRZ front bumper here, but this is actually a 2014 FRS. Starting off with the biggest change between the two cars is the power plant. From factory, these make about 150 wheel horsepower, and with full bolt-on header E85 full exhaust, you can see about 180 wheel horsepower. This one's a little bit different because Outfront Motorsports supplied us with the FB24, which is a 2.4 liter, almost matching the same displacement as the new gen. Now, out of the 2.4 liter that we put in this thing with full bolt-on, we're seeing about 225 wheel horsepower, which is a big increase from factory. Moving on to the 22 Plus BRZ. First off, let's talk about the major changes between the old and new gen. As you can see, the styling is quite a bit different, from the headlights to the front bumper shape to overall the shape of the car. But one thing that is very similar is actually the chassis itself. So you'll notice that a lot of the wheel fitments are almost identical for both cars. The suspension is almost identical, as well as the exhaust. And the way that they handle is pretty much the same. One of the first things that you'll notice when seeing the newer gen car is the interior. The interior on these is a lot nicer. It's a lot more modern than the previous gen. As far as creature comforts go, this car absolutely blows the old gen out of the water. When you're actually sitting in the BRZ, the cockpit feels a lot different. It's a lot tighter. The bolstering on the seats is a lot tighter. You also have Apple CarPlay and all kinds of different amenities. And we even spruced this one up a bit with the Driven Media carbon fiber overlays. Now let's talk about purpose. It really depends what you want to do with this car, but both of these cars perform extremely well in drifting, canyon driving, track driving, or even just daily driving. Also, if you want to do some sort of show car stance build, these are great cars for that because they do look amazing. Now let's talk about budget. Are you interested in buying a cheaper, blown up, or not running right, or needs a work car? Then this is going to be the car that you're going to want to get. But if you're a guy that just wants to buy a car and enjoy it, the brand new BRZ is a great option. They are quite different in price. If you buy a brand new BRZ or Gr86, you're looking at spending $30,000+, whereas buying an older FRS, BRZ, or 86, you're going to be around the $10,000 price range. As I mentioned previously in the video, I purchased this car for $4,000, but let's talk about how much I actually have into it to make it the drift car that it is today. Starting with the engine, we're at $8,000. Moving on to suspension, we're at about $5,000 because it has AST Moton 5100 series coilovers, as well as some of the supporting mods when you lower these cars. Wheel and tire combo, we're at about $3,000. Recaro seats, we're at about $2,000. The cage is a bolt-in cage that was welded, so that's about $1,000 as well. Full bolt-ons, we're at $3,000-ish, and eBay body kit, $500, paint, probably another $300. So I don't know what that adds up to, but we're probably pretty close to just buying a brand new BRZ. Moving on to the newer car, we pretty much had to unclap this thing because it was pretty rough. We bought it for $18,000, but it needed a new seat, new steering wheel, new door, new mirror. It also needs a new hood, and we put wheels and tires on it. Oh, and we had to replace the knuckle. So it did need a lot of work, but for $18,000 for I think this is a 2023 BRZ, that's not a bad deal. Not to mention this car also had a mileage discrepancy on the title. We're pretty sure that the previous owner or 3 owners used this thing for drifting pretty heavily because it does have a drift button in it. But all in, I'd say we're probably closer to that $25,000 mark with all of the extra stuff that we had to add to it. And then the wheel and tire setup on this is around $4,000. So I would say around the $25,000 to $27,000 mark. So it really just depends what you guys want out of your car. You can buy the previous gen and do what I did and put a bunch of money into it, make it how you want. Or you can buy the newer gen and you pretty much have a ready to go car out of the box for that $25,000 mark. So it really just depends on how mechanically inclined you are or how willing you are to work on your own stuff and learn along the way. They aren't bad cars to work on. They're pretty much the same car, honestly. Like, they're very similar. Obviously the horsepower difference is there, and then The torque dip on the new gens is a lot better than the torque dip on the previous gen. Overall, I would say it's really just up to you guys. It's up to you what you want to do with it. Personally, I like the way the older gen looks, but the new gen also looks amazing as well. And there are different options. There is the Gr86, there is the BRZ for the new gens. The previous gens have the Scion FRS, the GT86, or just Toyota 86, and then the BRZ. So it really depends what you want. They are both very modifiable, but like I said, it's all in your decision. Let's get some driving clips of these cars and you can really decide on which one that you guys want to go with. So we're in the FRS now, and this car is a little bit different than just hopping in a stock BRZ. As you can see, we have an aftermarket steering wheel. I have a harness on and the Recaros, and the seating position is fixed, so there is no moving it. But if you look down here, when I start the car up, I actually need to turn on all of my switches, and then it's ready to go. I also have the 17 plus gauge cluster in here, so it does look a little bit different than if you were to buy a 13 to 16 stock car. So let's go for a drive and see how these things feel and differ. The similar thing with these two cars is they both have a 6-speed manual transmission. You can get the old gens in auto, but I don't even know if the new gens come in auto. Whoa. Power-wise, they're gonna feel very similar just because this does have the Stroker FB24 motor in it. And as you guys can tell by the audio, this car is almost fully gutted. Obviously the B-pillar forward is not gutted, but everything back there is, so it is quite loud in here. Let's see if we can... I was gonna slide it, but there's a customer guy there. Let's do another pull. Now we are on a straight road here, so it's not as fun as if you're on a track or through the canyons or wherever you're going at, but these are still great cars. They're a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and turn around here. I love this thing. Let's drive this BRZ. Now that we're in the BRZ, as you can see, look at this nice leather stock steering wheel. The infotainment system is a lot nicer than this, and this is a push to start engine. Ooh, fancy. Oh, it's in gear. All right, ready?
That's going in.
That's the outtakes right there. All right. All right, as you can see, this thing does have a drift button in it. And if you guys don't know how this works, if you pull it up and you don't push this out, it'll just fall again. But if you pull it up to park it, you just push it out and do that. That way, when you're sliding, if you ever need your handbrake and you don't press the button, or you don't remember to press the button, you can just rip this thing and it'll just fall. It'll keep your motor from locking up when you clutch out. But all right, let's go drive this thing and see what we got going on. Ooh, it's so much quieter and nicer in here. Also, we have a 6-speed manual in this as well. Reverse is in the same spot, but as you can see here, all of the infotainment looks a lot different than on my car. It's so smooth. I love the gauge cluster of this car too. Just the look and feel of it is just really nice. One thing that I will note, and it's probably because this has a stock clutch in it, I believe, the clutch feel is a lot different than the FRS. Also, I'm pretty sure that these have helper springs in them from factory, which does make it feel a little bit more gummy and mushy than getting that true clutch feel. Should we do a little second gear pull here? It feels pretty similar, honestly.
It's so much less eventful.
It is a lot less eventful just because like my car is just so loud and like, I don't want to say rowdy because it's slow, but it's like, I don't know. It feels faster because it's just so much noise. Ooh, it's got some nice pops as well. That sounds good. Blah, 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 blah. That sounds nice. I like that. There is also no back seat space in either car, so don't expect to be putting a kid in the back seat or anything like that. And I would do a little donut, but these have expensive tires on it, and I don't really want to ruin them by burning them off. I think the true test between the two cars might be some sort of maybe a second gear race or something. See which one's faster, or see if they're identical. I don't know. I just want to preface this by saying that this car has a bigger motor and a half-gutted interior, so it is a little bit lighter, but they do make around the same horsepower at about 220 wheel. That is why the racing was so close. So if you guys are trying to use this video as a comparison as to which car to buy, just keep that in mind that this car is faster from factory. It makes about 30-ish wheel horsepower more than the previous gen cars do, but it's really just all in what you want. If you like the look of the previous gen or the newer gen, or you just like the idea of buying a project car and building it up and making it kind of how you want versus buying a car that's ready to go and just kind of getting in and driving it. It's really all up to you. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys stayed to the end to see our final results of the race. And in the next video, we have a special car coming in that we will be comparing these two cars against. So make sure you keep that in mind. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.